Why? Because if you're the architect of this rather costly game we've just seen, then it can cost you a lot of money two ways. One, because when your home hits the market, it's fresh and new. Now, in the first few days out there it hits the internet, and it's available for thousands of people to see. Do they react that fast? Oh yes. Ask any agent what happens when a house is listed on the wrong price on the internet, say by 100,000 too little. The phone rings off the hook. We know that buyers surf the net and the paper looking for new listings. If you're too high, the fact is they simply cross it off or go look at it because it suits them but don't do anything. They vote with their feet and they walk away. Now, when they do that, it's very hard to get them back because of the thing called time. It kicks in, and no one wants a house nobody else wants. So you miss what I call the initial marketing period. It's pretty obvious. One, that the buyers who are waiting all go for a new listing. And two, the agents go back to the office and get the absolute best buyer they have right now. And even worse, they get all of the buyers they have right now and bring them through. In most cases, the best and the most buyers are through your home in the first few days. If you're too high, you miss it. Now, the other danger here is a potential to gain that you miss. If you go too high, it is unlikely you'll get two buyers fighting over the property. This is how we get to the situation, like on that list, where they're both interested and are told to put their best offer in by 12 p.m. tomorrow. This is the equivalent of a tender, and always gets the absolute best prices for properties. My experience here, watching thousands of sales, is that the very best way to come onto the market is to do the work and price your home as close to the market value as you can. So what's the downside if you don't do this? Simple. Time kicks in, you simply stay on the market, you get less and less through because you're just waiting for new buyers to come along. And the agent has to figure out how to get you to reality. Interest in a property that has been for sale for months and months wanes, and you end up just chipping and chipping away until you get into, yeah, you guessed it, the reaction zone. Agent call this cutting and cutting, death by 1,000 cuts. I hope this gives you the answer to the question that sellers ask me all the time. Why can't I just start higher? I can always come down, can't I? And the buyers will just make an offer, won't they? This is a ridiculous premise that can cost you money. What we know now is that if you are too high, buyers ignore your home. What's worse is when you choose the right agent but don't listen. You go 3 months with them, you feel it's their fault, and so you change agencies. The next agent tells you what needs to happen, you listen, and in a week or two, you sell the home because you drop the price into the reaction zone. Understand, this has nothing to do with the skill of the second agent. It is all to do with getting the price in the reaction zone. And it is much easier to tell you that second time round. So what about leaving the price off altogether? This works because of a golden rule used by many marketers outside real estate. Product must come before price. What we're doing is dropping the barrier, dropping the reason that a lot of buyers discount your house immediately. It takes away the importance of this crucial gap. Buyers come and see if the home suits them, become emotionally involved with the house, and then go about affording something they may not have considered before. The bottom line to taking price off is it can result in giving the agent many more people to work with. It also allows this groundswell of activity to hopefully drive the price straight to the market value. Or who knows, end up in a tender situation where you may get more. A warning here is that a lot of buyers, in my experience, get very frustrated if there's no ballpark figure advertised. Discuss it with your agent, but I believe that in most cases, excluding auction, there are markets where with an auction you can leave any price guide off. You need some sort of price indication for buyers. The whole idea here is that you are giving the agent more buyers to work with. So based on what has been said so far, make sure your guide, however you do this, starts at a point lower than the estimated market value to get the most out of it. Otherwise, buyers who are getting more and more educated with the web-based information that's out there will discount it straight away. So this gap is all important, as I hope you see. You have to do the work to decide what is right here. Do not make the silly decision that we have time so we can just sit and wait. My suggestion here would be, if you have time, take it. Stay off the market and then do it properly when you're ready to go. To come on high and sit and wait can be very costly and a very costly exercise. Be clear here. Buyers become experts in an area. They respond to your asking price in two ways. If it's close enough to the market value, they'll engage. If it's not, they walk. They don't just make offers regardless of the asking price. That list of sold houses shows us that. They respond to market value, and when they see it, they pay it, even to the point of paying more in some cases. The market just doesn't care about your emotions. I'm sorry, they don't care about your divorce or the fact that you want to build a big, new, beautiful house. They simply compare yours with others and work out the value. What they do from there, I hope, is clear now. Now let's look at how the market values your home. It's done by comparison. If a unit, 150 square meters, is on the second floor overlooking the sea in a block, sells for $500,000, the next unit comes for sale, one next door, it is identical in all respects, same squares, same views, then logic would say this unit is worth, you got it, $500,000. So whether it's a unit, which is easy to do, or a house they're both similar, what we do is we make comparisons. If the house that sold last week had 2 garages, and yours is the same but only has 1 garage, we deduct for that. If your house is the same but has great views of the ocean, then we add something on for that. You must be aware here of adding on for invisible costs. 2 identical houses are built on the same size lot, but one is built close to the street, and the utilities cost $5,000 to get into the house. The other is built at the back of the lot and costs $12,000 to get the utilities to. You would not pay any extra for that house just for that reason. Some things just can't be added on to the price you see. Cost does not equal value in all cases. It is the same with money spent on a home. You did it for one of 2 main reasons. The first is for enjoyment. The kitchen was adequate, but you didn't like it, so you replaced it to enjoy a brand new kitchen to work in. Again, it will come down to comparison. I will not pay you the whole amount of your kitchen. I may choose yours over another to make an offer on, so you may sell quicker, but we can't just add up all of the invoices and add that on to the price of your home. The second reason you do alterations is for maintenance. Same deal. One roof is brand new. The other is adequate for the time being. I will choose your home so it may sell quicker, and I may give you something towards the cost of the roof, but you will not get all that you spent. So what we need to do is to get comparisons. Comparing with houses that have sold. You can, and some agencies will show you houses similar to yours that are still for sale right now. Just be careful about comparing with those. You must compare using the value of that house, not the asking price. So be careful to get meaningful information here and work out their gap. Now this will give you an indication of why it's still for sale probably. A bit complicated, so be careful doing this. Really good exercise to do if you want to figure out what can happen if you get that gap wrong. Like some of them will have been for sale for a very long time. So this should be helpful whether you're already on the market or just about to enter it now. So let's look at a checklist to get this right, to get you sold well. Number 1 is decide and be clear about the objective here. Isolate the emotions that might be getting in the way. Number 2 is make inquiries and work out what sort of market you are in. Number 3, my belief is we should actually choose an agent. You got it. That's another DVD. But choose your agent first and then do the work on the price. Number 4 is figure out the estimated market value using the comparisons in the area and adjust as you go. Number 5 is pay attention to the gap between your asking price and that estimated market value. Keep it as close as you can, taking into account the market that you're in. Number 6, remember having time has nothing to do with this. If you're not ready to sell, then wait and come on when you are. Number 7 is don't just hand this over. Do not just ask your agent for a price. You know that it is irrelevant what they think now. Ask the agent to show you what the house is worth, not tell you. You want comparisons, tangible evidence as to why they are suggesting a particular figure. Go for a drive yourself or with the agent and get it right up front.